Hello YouTube. This video continues my investigation of our very enigmatic satellite. Let me bring some more ideas of Russian researchers and also clarify something about two somewhat known researchers from the USSR in the United States, but there has been a mistake about who they were. You'll understand later. The mysterious moon, our closest neighbor in outer space, never ceases to amaze scientists and ordinary people with its strangeness and mystery. It is not only the largest satellite of the planet Earth, but also has unique properties that do cause a lot of questions and guesses or hypotheses. Researchers try to understand the mysteries of the moon and find out whether it is just a natural phenomenon or a constructed spacecraft. Let's start with one of the most amazing facts about the moon, its size and location in the firmament. The moon is so small compared to the sun that its diameter is 400 times smaller than the diameter of the sun. However, due to its location 400 times closer to the Earth, the moon appears to be the same size as the sun in the sky, creating a stunning spectacle of total eclipse. This phenomenon is considered one of the most amazing coincidences in the universe, at least in the tiny speck of the universe that we know about. But it's not just the size and position of the moon that raises questions. Its movement across the firmament is also a mystery. The moon imitates the sun, rising and setting at the same point on the horizon as the sun at opposite solstices. This strange behavior of the moon has no logical explanation, and I guess it only matters to the inhabitants of the Earth. Studies have shown that the gravitational features of the moon are also unusual. According to the laws of universal gravitation, the moon should have escaped from under the gravity of the Earth and be attracted to the sun, but this doesn't happen. This exact number that keeps the moon in Earth orbit is one of the many anomalous phenomena occurring on the moon's surface. NASA has repeatedly conducted research on the moon, but according to some researchers, they have not always shared their discoveries with the general public. However, independent observers have recorded many strange phenomena on the surface of the moon, which confirm its singularity. Here are just some of these observations. 1. The moon is older than the Earth. Carbon analysis showed that the moon is 5.3 billion years old, while the Earth is 4.6 billion years old. 2. The dust around the moon has a chemical composition that does not correspond to the composition of the lunar rocks. In addition, this dust is older than the moon itself by 1 billion years. 3. Lunar rocks are magnetized, although the moon does not have a magnetic field. 4. Craters on the moon were formed because of internal processes, but the moon has never been hot enough to form volcanoes. 5. Metals on the surface of the moon are heavier than in its core. This is contrary to the usual geological laws. 6. Surface metals are 80% titanium, which is not present on the planet Earth. 7. Seismic activity is observed on the moon without corresponding meteor impacts or movement of tectonic plates. 8. Eruptions with a reddish glow were recorded, which moved the moon closer to the Earth. This may be due to the operation of the engines. All these facts indicate that the moon is not just a natural phenomenon, but, again, according to some researchers, a constructed spacecraft. However, there's another side to the coin. The moon also plays an important role in life on planet Earth. It acts as a stabilizer, keeping our planet at the right angle and creating seasons. Without the moon, the Earth would be devoid of intelligent life and would become dead and uninhabitable. Thus, the moon remains a mystery to scientists and ordinary people. And it is a source of not only scientific discoveries, but also inspiration for fantastic hypotheses. Perhaps in the future we'll be able to reveal all its secrets and find out the true nature of this mysterious satellite. And I urge you to look at the attached playlist of my videos about mysteries and enigmas of the solar system. Very interesting about different planets, including our own. But also the moon research is present there. And I also want to tell you something. You see, in 1968, the Soviet newspaper Komsomolskaya Pravda, and those who watch my videos know that I have been using a lot of the materials that Komsomolskaya Pravda journalists have uncovered, and I know the science editor since I think back in 1991, and he's a very talented journalist. And those who are interested in current UFO phenomena in the Soviet Union, they should watch my videos, including the one about Putin and aliens and others. And again, Komsomolskaya Pravda, to me, is a very interesting source. Very interesting and unusual cornucopia of materials. So in 1968, this newspaper published an article titled, "Is the Moon an Artificial Satellite?" Its authors were journalists from the newspaper's Department of Science, Mikhail Khvastunov, who sometimes wrote out under the pseudonym Vasiliev, and Rem Sherbakov. Okay? Mikhail Khvastunov and Rem Sherbakov. But Khvastunov had pseudonym Vasiliev. In 1970, the article was translated into English and published in Sputnik magazine. This edition, printed in several languages, was distributed abroad. It contained the most interesting materials from other Soviet newspapers and magazines. Of course, obviously, there was a very strict selection in the digest of the Soviet press for foreign readers. And then the story got out. Their names were, as usual, with foreigners who don't know or don't want to know Russian realities and pronunciations and spellings and so forth. Their names were basically given completely different names. And it became a sensation. The article is very interesting, and I cited too in my research, but it's been such a long time ago. Now, there was an idea, I've read about ideas that the KGB wanted to input false information in the West or put in ideas about ancient aliens and distract attention of the foreigners. To me, this is idiotic. I didn't think that after so many years I would have to say anything in defense of the KGB. But what I want to say, that the KGB had completely different missions and activities. And in my youth, after escaping to the West, I was doing things that I'm sure they would not like, and they didn't, like smuggling books into the Soviet Union, helping smuggle people out and so forth. But the KGB was not into ancient aliens or chasing mummies or anything like that. Even with UFOs, and you can see it in my videos about the KGB, even about UFOs, they were not eager to get that material into their hands, but they had to, because one of their missions was protection of the Soviet secret facilities and installations and plants and so forth. So keep that in mind. The history of ufology in the USSR is very complex, and I think I dedicated years of my life trying to explain to the Westerners what was going on. So if you're interested, you'll find it in my videos. So this is what I wanted to make clear about the two journalists who wrote that article, which was published in 1970 in the West, and of course misunderstood by a number of researchers. Mikhail Khvastunov, who had a pseudonym of Vasiliev, and the other one was Rem Sherbakov. I will bring you more information about research of the moon. Hopefully we'll get some more from China, because I think they're making great strides in the research and study of the moon. And now we have India getting into this game too. And I'm sure we'll find out a lot from their research as well. Of course, the United States is there. Russia, well, the spacecraft failed, so maybe they'll keep trying again. They have to. And other players are getting to the moon scene, including private ones, I'm sure, will be there quite soon. So please support my research if you can do so. You'll find description. You'll find the links on how to do it in the description to this video. Please tell others about my channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. And I promise I will bring you more interesting videos soon about the paranormal phenomena of Eurasia and some other parts of the world like Africa. And also about space exploration. Thank you.